Hi there. It's another episode of Conversations. My name is Mom, Divine Mom, and it's a delight to be with you. As you all know, I've taken quite a long break from the program, and within that period, I took a foray into politics, which is what we'll be talking about today. We'll be focusing on women in politics, with particular emphasis on the challenges, the prospects, and what next? What is the way forward, especially after the last general elections, which have generally been accepted as rather dismal for women in politics in Nigeria. I'm not alone. I have three very esteemed women politicians with me who will be sharing their experiences with us, talking to us about the challenges they faced, challenges they are aware other women politicians face, what the preparations are toward 2023, and so on and so forth. It promises to be very engaging. So for those of you who are interested in politics, are interested in knowing how women are faring in politics, you should watch this to the end. Once again, my name is Mom, Divine Mom, and I'm in the studio with
Ramatu Elhatu Musa, MFR MNI, the former president, National Council of Women Societies, Nigeria. Thank you.
I'm Princess Anwaye Bife Agomeze, retired Permanent Secretary of Abuja State's Ministry of Land Survey and Housing, a politician.
I Chief Mrs. Adedonyi A.I. Shanomi, Senatorial Aspirant Kogi West.
As you can see, it's a healthy representation of women politicians here from different spheres, and it will be a very interesting conversation. We will continue the conversation right after this timeout.
When there's a child out there that's not getting the same that your own child is getting, the difference will tell, and there will come a time in the society where that child is going to take his pound of flesh.
Where you can actually, everything from watching a program with the child, you can start off the conversation from something on the TV and say, oh, you know.
For me, it's like, hurry up with this business. And the other one said, Auntie, it's not about me, it's about the guys. They're not ready to marry.
Yes. If she wants to ask something, no, I know my mother very well. In fact, the most interesting one is when I put up pictures on WhatsApp, you know, Snapchat filters and all that, she will call me, remove that picture. There was a day, I got tired of all that and I said,
women can rule Nigerian because women are trustworthy. They are sincerely from their hearts. Whatever they do it best. I'm strongly believe that women can rule this country more than men. Yes.
I don't think so. Well, if you look at an African tradition, apart from the Liberian woman, I've not seen any, I don't know, maybe there is, but I don't know any woman that is president. But for Nigeria own, the environment is not clear for women to become Nigerian president because there is violence in our elections. And women cannot stand violence. So definitely they may, it's not that they cannot be president, but the atmosphere is not conducive for now, as you ask me. You are saying now. Oh.
I don't think that it will be possible. I don't think it will be possible because the husband may not like it. Even the children may not like it because politics, it deals, in my own opinion, I think it deals with so many atrocities. They may be ready, but they need massive support. Who will support them? You know, some people may camouflage, pretending to support them, just to collect money and materials, other materials and cars from them. On the day of the voting, they may go and vote for the people they like. The woman that they have been campaigning for, carrying her posters from here and there, they may not even vote for that woman on the voting day. They may go and vote for the person they like best. So in my own opinion, I don't think it will be possible for a woman to be a president of Nigeria.
If you can see the male counterparts, the politicians who are male, before now, they have taken over the political atmosphere. And what do I mean by that? Looking at political situation in Nigeria, if you don't have what it takes in terms of finance, not to talk of to buy the form for a political party, it's unaffordable for the female counterparts. And apart from that, Nigeria as a country, we don't believe in the leadership of the females.
Yeah, of course, because the way it is now is better for women to rule. Due to the situation of Nigeria, that if it is women, no matter what, they must have a feeling as a mother. Yeah.
You see, in a country like ours, we always believe that we always believe in that gender difference. We don't believe in gender equality, as at now, and we also believe that the men are the head and they should be the one in charge. But that is not to say that if women are given the chance, they will not be able to do same or even much more better. That because I don't belong to that school of thought that a man is able to do it all. Men have been doing it and they have failed us drastically. And I believe, in my own opinion, if a woman is given a chance to rule this country, I want to believe she will be able to do something. She will even excel.
To my own opinion, I don't think they are ready.
I don't think in gender boxes at all. I just get on with it.
A man that would dare to ask the wife, who do you think you are? That is a real man.
In fact, our husbands are our firstborns. The husband needs more attention than even the children.
It's not only about work, it's not only about family. They need to take the time to look after themselves, and we don't do that.
They took my money, I paid every fees. I never asked to be hoisted as a governor. I wanted to be allowed to go out there and contest for the position of governorship candidate first.
There's nothing greater than looking back and seeing that while you were aspiring, you were able to inspire others.
Empower to women. Yes, we need to have more women, more multitaskers around Nigeria to get Nigeria working.
Definitely.
I started the show by mentioning the fact that I'm a politician now, not just your regular old diva who is the presenter on Conversations. And it's been an interesting journey. I went for the House of Reps ticket for the Kandu Shongo constituency in my state. I did not secure my party's ticket. And of course, as a consequence, I couldn't go into the general election. And sadly, even the women in my state who are able to secure tickets from their parties, I'm sorry to say the big two parties in my state, neither PDP nor APC produced a female candidate at the end of the day. Wow. That's the truth.
That's horrible.
A handful of smaller parties produced, I think in my state right now, after the current State House of Assembly is phased out, there'll be just one woman in the State House of Assembly. I think in my state, we were able to produce one person for the House of Reps in Abuja. And that's as far as I know. If I've made any mistakes, I'm sorry, but the performance this time, and it wasn't for lack of trying, it wasn't for lack of effort. Very few women were able to secure their seats. Hajia, do you want to go first? What were the challenges?
All the challenges are numerous. Let's look at it from the beginning of the girl-child education. The girl child was not opportuned to go to school early enough. And that is what has been, pursuing us till today, and among other challenges. Now, the playing ground for women participating in politics is not good enough. If you look at the fact that women don't have some, resources like land, the availability of loan and so on and so forth as their men counterparts. And also there are some, charter that have not been domesticated in this country, where our nation believes in signing treaties that will never be put into practice. Practical example of such are the 1995 Beijing Platform of Action, which we were supposed to have.
Part of it.
Yeah, and then the Charter on People's Rights, the Child Rights Act, which was passed in this country in early 2003, 2004. None of all these things have been domesticated. Look at the gender policy, mention them. But that is not to say that we have not come a long way. Our place was in the kitchen, and today we are occupying some critical positions in governance.
Well,
but we are shouting today because we have not gotten to the promised land. We've not gotten our 35%. Look at countries that were far behind Nigerian women as far as women development is in Africa. Rwanda, South Africa, name them. They've gotten quite a good percentage of representation of women. Why not Nigeria?
That's a good question.
You see, when we started in 1993, there were many women at the National Assembly and state assemblies, but today we have deteriorated to less than 5%. In 2011, we got up to 31 point something percent, having 13 female ministers, first of its kind in Nigeria, and now we have just a few of them. So it cannot continue like this, but that is not to say all is bad. We appreciate the military for having the combatant, the first African combatant commandant de corps, being a woman.
A woman.
So in the military, we're doing very well. If you look at the judiciary, we're also going down now.
Are we really going down? Are we going up? Because there's
we
a
are
lot
going
of
down
women
compared to
that have been made judges.
Yeah, there are judges.
Really
yes,
improved in that area.
Oh well,
improvement.
Yeah, I think the number has increased. That's what I'm saying.
No, compared to look at
what it was before.
Yes, we have a little bit dropped.
Okay.
We have dropped a little, but there in numbers, we have dropped. Yeah.
Princess, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I want to go back to what she mentioned about, where this our problem started from. The discrimination, towards the women. Because she also mentioned it started from the home. The way and manner we parents take care of the children, give them assignments, has also contributed. Because the girl child have always made to understand, you need to go to the kitchen, you need to take care of your brothers. When there are serious assignments that needs to be done, the men will be the one to be sent. The boys are made to feel they are demigods. Even your mother will not hesitate and say, don't you know he's a boy? Oh, don't you know he's a... So the women, we all grew up seeing ourselves as second-hand, not being as good as our male counterparts. And that is why now the consciousness, is now there for women to get engaged in politics. It's being talked about all over the world. And when you venture to go into politics, one of the issues we're having has to do with culture. In most areas, they cannot imagine a woman being at a point where decision-making is being taken. And so, there was a time I had a seminar for women. And they were like, oh, you mean a woman can be that open and be saying whatever she's saying? And at the end of the seminar, some of them came back to me and said, is it possible for you to go around all the local government and preach what you're preaching, the need for women to come out, the need for us to be on the table and discuss issues with the men, that their husband won't let them come out. And also the issue that when a woman gets into politics, most men see you as being a free woman, and that has also affected us. Because most people wouldn't even want to get involved, no matter, because the women are quite intelligent. You know, the women can be trusted. For every assignment we have been given, we do it to the best of our ability. And so these are some of the issues we've been encountering. Then you talk about the issue of finance, because we're not that exposed. When you get married, the Bible tells us that the man is the head of the family, and he tries to kind of subdue you. So he's the one that goes for the juiciest job. And then most people, they'll say, oh, you engage yourself in a teaching job. So those things, you don't have the money. And so when you get into the field, I aspire for senatorial seat of Ebonyi South senatorial zone. So when you get into the zone, you're not into the race, you now find out that the men are there dishing out money. In politics, they are not looking at the woman with integrity. They are not looking at what you can offer them. They're not looking at your representation. All the people are looking at how much are you ready to offer, can you bring? And so when you gather the women, even our own women are our own issues also. Because the women are the ones, rather than rally around you, because we are in our numbers. So if we women can also see the need to vote for the women, this situation we are in will definitely, be a thing of the past. So I believe there's a lot has to be done,
Chief, do you agree with her? She said something about women rallying behind female candidates. Don't you think it will generate some kind of gender war?
No, I think that was exactly what happened in South Africa.
Okay.
What we are facing exactly in Nigeria is what happened in South Africa. Because what happened to me when I was contesting in Kogi West, I discovered so far no any single woman have made such an attempt of becoming a senator in Kogi West.
And in my place too, Ebonyi State, no
so
woman.
When I look at it, when it happened that, just what Princess has just mentioned, that politics is a dirty game. They feel any woman that finds herself in politics, she's not a clean woman. One of the major fundamental problems we are facing today in Nigeria is social-cultural background. And once you believe a woman cannot do it, a woman is not supposed to even venture into it, we still have a long way to go. After my experience last year, I started doing research. How come Rwanda produced such parliamentarian women?
Huge number of
yes,
50-50
about
now
64.
in Rwanda.
No,
I think about 64 of them, it's more than 50.
I went, started reading about them. To South Africa, I think we're even making some plans to visit South Africa. The truth is that the South Africa, after struggling the way the women in Nigeria were struggling, they now form a party, political party. When you now form political party, men will now come to Nigeria.
A political party, a women's
what
party.
happened.
I know, but I think it happened in Nigeria.
That was what happened.
Wow.
Then they form a... Go to the history of the South Africa, where we have women in most important position now in South Africa.
Okay.
When it is out of struggle.
I think I will. I will do some research on that.
Please go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Then they now form a political party. But the truth is that here, it may little be difficult, but one day somehow we'll get to that level. Because economic power too. When you look at it, we don't have such resources the way men have. Men have the money, they support themselves, and when you look at the cultural aspects I'm referring to, in the political party, you discover men, they will take over the whole position. If possible, the national women leader will be given to a man. They will give it to a man.
So, no, it's true. Is it Kano State also?
Yeah.
The chairman committee on women affairs was a man.
Was a man. Not in Adamawa State. Commissioner for Women Affairs.
Yes.
Present commissioner.
Yes.
In which state?
Is he?
Adamawa State.
That is working in a female environment.
State.
A man working in a
But when we had to approach the governor, and immediately within 2 weeks, he had to remove the man from Women Affairs.
I think it even happened in my own constituency too.
Yeah, and in Ebonyi State in 2011,
yes, I agree.
We had 4 women occupying
secretary.
positions in the executive of the party. Of one of the parties in Ebonyi. So if you people can wake up from your the slumber there and all other states, we can get to where we should get.
I think we want to get there from party level.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I also wanted to say.
To be a national chairman.
During the congresses, the women also need to come out. The woman leader position shouldn't just be left for women. We can be chairman. Yes. We can be organizing secretary, we can be the treasurer. So part of our problem as politicians, we need to get involved at the party level. Because the woman leader, as you can see, she's just the only voice. So she won't be able to make any reasonable impact in when decisions are being taken. And so for that reason, the women, we all need to wake up, But the issue is the waking up has to do with the money. And that's why we've been calling for quota basis in all levels of, governance, whether it is political or appointive. We need the quota basis whereby, for instance, with the new government coming up, we are asking for, we've gone up for no longer 35%. We are not asking for 50. Because
I think it's fair.
Because that is where the world is.
Yeah, but whatever we're asking for today,
but no, Baba has promised.
If our own, ideas are not enshrined into the Nigerian constitution where we're saying,
that's what we're saying.
Baba has promised. We promise that in this new government,
in the new dispensation,
I think based on what has happened in the last election, so far, we're having almost, I think about only 7 women in the Senate. 6 in the Senate, and 11 in the House of Rep, which is sad.
And that's the more reason why we are now saying, during the election of the National Assembly officers, all those old-timers, women at the National Assembly should be elected into principal positions.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so that they can start working from there in collaboration with those of us that are outside.
Yeah, we agree.
Working towards
what I also want to add is, because I know everybody is watching us.
Yes.
And we are discussing issues about women in politics. Now, the new government is about to be formed. The women need to be encouraged. And that's the only way we can do better in 2023. For instance, how many ministers are we supposed to have?
No, I know
we are going to have so many
Baba Buhari has promised that he will dominate his next appointee as women.
Let's have the 50% of women being ministers.
At appointive
levels. And you see, when you give appointment, apart from being ministers, you have parastatals. Why can't, more especially those women who participated at the field? Because one thing about politics is being at the background to cheer people and being there. There's a difference.
There's a difference.
You can never equate these two people to have the same thing. So what we are asking for now is, for those that have ventured into the turbulent waters, it takes a lot of courage for a woman to come out to say, I'm going to vie for this. So for those positions, we want an increased number of ministers as women.
Appointive office.
The appointive, because elections are gone. So what we are looking at the moment is the appointive positions. Then when you go to the boards, these people who have shown reasonable commitment, let them be the director generals. Let them be the executive secretaries. It must not be left for the men. Let me tell you a story. Somebody met me and said, oh, we heard this and that. Oh, they want to do this for you. And they said, how can? So the men will not even want you to be there. They don't see you as being good enough to be the minister. So why can't a woman be the minister? I mean, there have been other ministers. I mean, like I talked about my state, that nobody has ever ventured, contesting for Senate. And nobody has ever been a female since the creation of the state. So in such a situation, they are still looking at a woman being a minister as, the government is trying to deprive them of their rights. It is not their rights. I mean, we all went to school.
I think the president is a man of integrity.
Yes.
He's a man of honor. And I know when we're in a banquet hall, after the election, he promised that women and youth will dominate the next cabinet. And President Buhari is not somebody that will talk and go behind. Even if the man doesn't want. Since he has pronounced it, he will do that.
Yeah, we are
and in fighting corruption, I know Baba knows that women will do better. Because when you talk of nation building, without a woman, there's a problem.
From creation of man, God proved to us that the woman is the best manager of both human and material resources.
And there's any way we can push as women that, elective posts should be quota in each state, either if one Senate and two.
Every state
should
produce one senator.
One senator.
At least one female senator.
Every state should produce 3. I think we can.
That's per zone.
Yes. Per zone. Until when we put it in the constitution, it will be very difficult.
Yeah. But you see, there would be people watching this program that will be like, women just want to sit down and be handed things. Why can they not go out there and struggle for it? Let us tell them how the efforts we've been making. I would like you to share your experiences with us. Those of you who were part of the election process 2019. What were the challenges? Why do you feel you were overcome?
Most of the challenges.
Are you not popular enough?
This issue of
your people don't love you. What happened?
No, this issue of women being given free ticket. I don't know whether the men really mean it from the bottom of their hearts.
No, we're not giving free tickets.
Yeah, but you paid something, but it's not the same amount you paid with the men. But it's like a polite way of saying, let's deceive them, so that when the time comes, we'll tell them to step aside. Because I don't understand. They stop all of them from getting to the time of the election.
I think some of these problems started right within the party.
Yes.
If you are not nominated, you don't even stand a chance of winning at all.
No. You have to be nominated first. And I will let you. Most of the issues we had, excuse me, please. Most of the issues we had to do with security.
Yes. Violence.
Yes, violence.
Okay.
How do you even manage that? And so,
but when
the kind of things they do, most times we're not able to do it. And that goes back to the finance. Even if we have the mind to do such things, where will you get the money to finance such a thing? And as women, we don't get involved.
The time will come.
When money will not speak. When you ask for experiences, personally, when I joined the race, what I introduced in Kogi West, none of the politicians have ever done it. Because I started with empowering of the women, most especially the widows. Paying for white NECO, JAM for students. I went as far. I brought some expatriates from America for free medical care, which now made me to be very popular. But when it comes to this main issue, they determine. Because the chairman of the party is a man. The assistant chairman is a man. The treasurer is a man. Financial secretary is a man. Everything about
practically everything except a man leader.
If it is possible, a woman leader can be he or she, he.
No,
so as a matter of fact, in taking decision,
it
will be very difficult.
Yes.
And in a party hierarchy in the state, the governor, and where you have governor, it's either a PDP or APC. The leader of the party now is the governor. So the governor will be the one to determine who is the next senator, the next House of Rep.
Yeah, that's the way they do
it. Ordinarily, that's not what democracy is supposed to be.
It should be about those who can deliver.
It should be about, okay, this person, you got these many votes. You got 50 votes. The other person got 30 votes. Therefore, you have won. That's essentially what democracy is saying.
Yeah, if that's looking at the definition of democracy, A government of the people, for the people, by the people. But in Nigeria, it's government for the haves. Those who have.
As a matter of fact, I want to use
And
this
those in
opportunity
position.
to really congratulate the women, the 6 of them that made it to the National Assembly. Only God knows what they went through. Senate.
Yeah.
Yeah, those that went through. So we really have to congratulate them.
Yeah.
But you see, if you look at those people that, most of them have gone there before, like what she said, the governor determines who goes where. So if you're lucky and the governor says, oh, it has to be you. So that gives you opportunity to first and foremost launch yourself. Most of them have gone there so many times because they were given the opportunity to get there in the first place before they now started struggling on their own. It is only when you have been empowered that you are able to do things better than we are doing it at the moment. So
you see, there's an interesting case of a certain governor whose name I will not mention, who wanted some relations of his to go to the National Assembly, one other person to take over from him, and so on and so forth. And the people banded together and said, hell no.
Yeah, we know
Yes,
the person.
yeah, so, I mean, that means that at the end of the day, even in my state,
things are changing.
In 2015, you know, my state had historically been a certain party state. And in 2015, they were like, look, you guys are just, I mean, we're tired. You're not doing enough, you know, so we're going the other way. And that was exactly what happened. Every other person who presented themselves on that platform, they were practically swept away, like, essentially swept away, so to speak. So it's not as if the people are so completely powerless. There are times when the people band together and say, no,
like what happened
that
in
power
Kwara
you
State.
think you have, we're not going to allow it to
Like what
be.
happened in Kwara State?
Yes.
You see, in that state,
Yes.
even in,
when the people said
in
no?
Kano State, is it Kano? Yes.
No, it should be Bauchi.
Is it Bauchi?
Well, in different states, in the north, in the south, in different parts, there are places where the people have come together and the governor's power has been rendered null. You cannot force this person on us. We're not going to take the person.
Now, from the confirmation of Honorable Abike Dabri as the DG of the Diaspora Commission, we know that Mr. President is going to surprise women of Nigeria. Now, the question I will ask us is this. With the number of women that came out to elect, to participate in the election, the numbers were overwhelming. If we can speak with one voice and act solidly, we can vote out the men.
Yes, we can.
Can't we?
Oh, yeah.
We can vote them out.
But when you're voting, will you go back to your house? Because your husband will tell you, if you do this, you're not going to come back.
I
And
don't
that's
mind.
why women, even when you like
I
someone,
don't mind. If
even when you like
politics will
someone,
separate marriage, that means there is no genuine love
but that's
from the husband.
The men are the ones that make the women to look as if we hate ourselves.
Criticism should
Honestly.
ginger us to greater heights. We should not be afraid.
We need to preach love within the women too.
Yes.
Because the people that were there in 8th Assembly,
yes,
who did you put groom to be state of assembly in your state?
That is it.
Who did you even assist to get to ask your friend? So these are the situation. Because if you don't assist the next person coming, for you to even sustain to be in the power, it will be very difficult. So women need to work together
There's
as a
need
team.
for
you must
mentoring.
learn to speak out
There's
too.
need for
you know.
mentoring.
Because it is only when you speak out, people understand the stuff you're made of.
No, Princess Anne, you said something that resonated with me. You spoke about violence.
Yes.
And the fact that most women are hesitant when it comes to that.
Yes.
And with regard to that, that is, I think, because there are actually women out there who can match men penny for penny, pound for pound, or naira for naira, kobo for kobo. There are some women who, over time, maybe through business or whatever other means, have made good money.
But there are very few.
Of course, there are not so many of them, but they exist at all.
They exist. Yeah.
But the place where even such a woman will begin to scratch her head is when it comes time to bring out that money and pay militia to go somewhere and kill people and carry the ballot box. Even a woman
And
who
she's
has
a mother.
money At that point, we'll begin to scratch our head. And that is where we have the biggest disadvantage.
Yes.
Because most women, I dare say 80 to 85% would not want, even where they're not the ones themselves going to stand and fight, to just pay somebody to go and do it.
It's not good.
Up to 85% of women will not get
They will not
involved
want
in
to
that.
do it because women are very peaceful.
Meanwhile, our men do it without batting an eyelid.
No, they won't even. They can.
That one,
There
if
are
you look at it,
assassinations.
there is spiritual bankruptcy there. Yes, if somebody is spiritually poor, he can do and undo.
But that's what has been happening. And that's why when women hate each other, I say, listen,
We don't hate each
I've never heard that a woman sent assassins after a fellow woman politician.
No.
But I can count any number of times that politicians have been assassinated by their fellow men.
Correct.
What is the definition of hate if it doesn't go up to the level of I can take your life? We have our small bickering, which is normal. It will not be said that because we are both female, we'll never have any differences. That's not possible. We're human beings. Even twins have. They have. And their own is the kind of thing that brings the community down.
Yeah.
Because by the time they arm this militia and the other one arms the other militia, nobody can even enter that community.
They need to start being accommodative.
I
They
think
need to accommodate us.
another one thing, this issue, I saw a lady sometime last year with good O-level certificate at the WIC, and she said she was looking for a job. I said, why don't you further your education? She's from North Central. She said she has to work and assist to pay her elder brother's school fees.
Family development.
You see the problem? One, a woman can just stop her education career, even if the boy is not doing well, to empower the boy. So that is where the socio-cultural background.
That is where it comes in again.
A girl is brilliant, but the boy is not doing well in academic, but the girl have to drop out of school not to continue her education because the boy...
So that he will be higher and take care of the family while the woman stays down.
Because they believe if she get married she will get married to another family, while the boy will retain the family name. So we have a lot of work to do.
That family name something, is it not, is it such a big deal?
No, it is in Africa.
The way I see it, for instance.
It is in Africa. Not in Nigeria, it is.
There were so many ceilings Dora Akunyili broke. That woman single-handedly became a trailblazer. I don't even think that was what she was trying to do. She was just trying to be the best DG she could be of NAFDA. In fact, many people don't even remember that she went ahead to become Minister of Information.
Yeah.
Because at that point, things...
No,
that wasn't what she was called for. But as DG of NAFDAC, even now that she's gone, if you ask people to name 5 prominent Nigerians, there's a likelihood that they are starting with Dora first, even now that she's not
Because
alive.
she's a woman that knew her onions.
She branded...
If the government can allow women to really come, you see, a whole lot of things will change. You know, she was fighting against adulterated drugs. And she fought it, remembering she's from Anambra State. And most people are into such businesses from that area. She didn't really care.
She fought her ethnic group.
That's what I'm saying. She did.
You know?
And so when women come into governance, we get things done. We make things better. All this violence will also be reduced. And that's why I'm really very, you see our president, at this moment I feel I'm very, very happy with him because I believe what he has said about women and children, women and youth being part of the bulk of his administration, I'm believing he's going to do it. And when he does it, he will see the difference between where he started from and where he is at the moment. And then he will be able to leave a legacy, the Nigerian of his dream, because we women were going to assist him make Nigeria a better place.
Okay, so 2023 is just 4 years away.
Yes.
What are we doing from now to make sure that in 2023, because they say that sometimes you have to you have to pick yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yes.
So what are we as women, apart from waiting for what government will do, whether at the end of the day we get the appointive offices we want or not, what are we as women politicians doing to be sure that when 2023 comes around, we are not shortchanged as badly as in 2019?
Well, we are creating awareness for ourselves, creating awareness in other younger women, letting people know we can do it. The need for us to come together. And then, I mean, individually, politics, you still have to start on your own.
Yeah.
Trying to improve on your finances, trying to make people in the cultural area to realize if you have people in other areas that have really excelled in politics, you try to mention it to people in your constituency or in your state, depending on where you want to go. But first and foremost is to make sure you put yourself in an advantage position where they can understand whom you are, and also being kind to them, showing them what you would do if you are voted in 2023. Because if you don't tell them, it's like they are just here to look for votes. At the end of the day,
I think we have to go back to our different parties. Informing the party, the membership, and hierarchy of leadership. If there's any way we start struggling that it's only national women leader or state women leader that a woman should occupy, I think that will be number one force of approach of the party. Because in the Nigerian constitution, you must go through a party. And secondly, we need to go back home, reorientate our people. Money is not everything.
No.
In choosing a leader, you look at who exactly can deliver for you. You look at who will have the feelings of the masses. Because leadership is about taking responsibility of the people. When you get there, what impact can you do to improve the status of the living of the people? So as women, we need to come together. It's not a battle of one group. It will be a collective battle. And for those there, right away, there are actually few in National Assembly. I don't know what they can do. But we now look at among them, who is for she, who are gender sensitive, so that they can help us in the issue of quota system.
Quota system, very, very important.
Because without quota system,
it will still be difficult.
Very, very difficult.
That's, a quota even within the party.
Quota system in everything.
In everything,
yes,
okay.
Within the elective position.
It's in the party, but we don't use it.
They don't use it. They will not allow it. It's there.
Okay.
Within the elective positions, within the party hierarchy.
Go to PDP constitution, they will tell you 35%.
Let them leave it.
APC
if it's 35%. Let us know it's 35%. And it will be spelled out. If we get the quota, like we mentioned earlier on, if we have quota whereby every state produces one senator, because there are 3, right? And then in the state, how many House of Rep that comes out of a state?
Some states are 9. Why some are more?
It depends on how big.
Yeah,
for instance, the number of House of Reps that will come out of Kano,
like our side is about 20.
Even Lagos.
So House of Rep, we can have 2.
3.
The House of Assembly, we can have like 6 or more than that. So let them give us quota, because if they don't give us this quota, you see how everything is dwindling.
Yeah.
Things are getting so bad because the men are, I didn't want to use what they won't like, but the men wants to have it.
Dominate.
It's like dominating more and more. It's like as we women are sticking out our heads, it's like, oh my God, these women are coming. We need to really hold tight.
But why the fear?
Yeah, because they know what we can do.
Our culture. It's not,
they are
culture
afraid
does
of
not
the
favor
unknown,
the
and the unknown is best known to them. That's why sometimes they bring religion to, create some, issues within humanity. But there is nothing religious. Like in Islam, a woman is supposed to bear her father's name until thy kingdom come.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah,
some of us were not
this
educated to know that.
It's a Western thing.
Yeah, Mrs. This, but it's a
Western thing. We have borrowed cultures here and there. I mean, we borrow everything, whether it conforms with our own norms or not, and it's not good enough. Right now, our culture in Nigeria is eroded. The better we go back to the drawing board and go back to the best practices of the past, we will be lost.
But you see,
and there are
the thing is,
strategic networks.
We're losing the good things about our culture.
Yes.
And coming up with a warped version that, because the other day I was thinking to myself, wait, is it the same Nigeria that produced Queen Amina of Zazzau?
Very well.
I was this high when I started seeing it. And then now, I mean, now it's like over time, instead of growing stronger,
yeah, we're getting weaker.
We've gotten weaker.
Yes.
We've become so mild-mannered.
Dwindled.
Can you imagine the kind of challenge people like Gambo Sawaba faced?
Yeah.
Even during the war.
Margaret Ekpo.
Yes.
Ransom Kuti.
Yeah.
You know, she was the first woman to drive a car.
Yes.
You know, was her husband like, oh, sweetheart, yes, go and drive that car. Go and drive it.
No, I mean, that easy.
I don't think it was that easy,
no,
because
she would have
you can imagine that if you know, if misogyny is like this now, what was it like that? What was it like then, when even Christians were still neck deep in polygamy, and the culture was really culture back then? There was nothing like. How did these women overcome all those boundaries?
When they are
we're
taking
still talking
decisions,
about
they will
them
ask the
today.
women to leave.
No, you know,
some years, 25 years
too.
back, let me tell you, there was genuine love between husbands and wives. But the love we have today is that of yam and palm oil. No matter how many hours you take, no matter how many hours you take to cook yam with palm oil, there must be whitish parts in the yam.
Still remaining.
It does not penetrate very well.
Okay.
So that is the kind of love,
fetish
love. Now, some 25 years ago, when we used to queue to elect leaders, husband and wife used to belong to the same, different parties.
And it would not cause any friction in the house.
But today, men are afraid of the unknown. And that unknown is known to them. Because if I say I know, I'm lying. But what is it that we cannot, work harmoniously? I was opportune to attend the Nigeria-South African bilateral trade relations in 2010. When women sit and discuss, nothing leaks. But in Nigeria, as we are talking, some of us are informing
letting out the
men.
information.
At the airport in South Africa, nothing is foreign. It is their locally made fabrics that they are selling to visitors at the airport. Now, we are the ones, women, going to buy Super Hollandis, going to buy this, This one is a Nigerian wrapper, 2,400. Nobody will know it's a cheap wrapper. Why are we refusing to wear our own fabrics?
But talking of
charity begins at home.
Talking of which, I think it was you that mentioned some acts. You said something that Nigeria is fantastic at signing all these things.
Acts, yes, and treaties.
Good. I sometimes mix this language up. So we sign the treaties and everything, and then somehow it just sits there and gathers dust.
Yes,
right?
you know why?
It's
not that they don't know the content of what they sign.
Yeah, they do know.
But they do know,
yeah.
But they are sometimes under duress as
to sign it.
Yeah, because of the opportunities that Nigeria will get from the international communities.
Okay, so it's like hoodwinking them.
Then if we see those opportunities and we get them, then we must domesticate the treaties.
Let's break the language down. After federal government, is it, signs the treaty and everything, when you talk about domestication, you're talking about making it practical, making it come alive.
Yeah.
Now, You spoke about Beijing. Beijing was during Mariam Babangida's
1995,
time,
yes.
right?
Yes.
85 or 95.
Mariam Babangida.
Very good.
Yeah.
Was it 85 or 95? What is it?
1995.
Huh?
1995.
95, okay.
95.
There was a convention in Beijing. That was 1985.
No, it was 1995.
Okay.
Maybe
I
that
know there was one Beijing
pre-convention.
that happened during Mariam Babangida's
It's
time.
1995.
Was Mariam still there in
For
1995?
sure.
It should be 85.
Yes.
It should be 85.
It's 85.
No,
You
it's true.
people are not getting it.
It's true. We're all getting it mixed up. Yeah, I think so. Because it can't be 85. That was too early in her husband's regime. That was too early. It was a little later after he had been on seat for a while that Beijing happened. It didn't happen almost immediately he came to power. So
But if it is 95, they were no longer in power.
They were no longer in power.
In 95,
Yeah,
we're getting our dates mixed up.
But
I don't know that.
I'm not
late Abacha
Okay.
that was in power in 1995.
Okay.
But whatever it is,
Bottom line is
was
Beijing
a
women
convention
conference,
before
whatever.
Abacha came to
There was
office.
a convention in Beijing.
What
And Nigeria
really,
is a signatory.
And Nigeria is a signatory.
Yes.
What really was the meat of Beijing? What were women supposed to go back and do in their respective countries?
They were supposed to go back and fight for the, inclusion of those percentages as the
That's
case may be in
35%.
their own respective countries.
Does having an office of the First Lady help in any way?
To
Because we don't
some
have a
extent-
First Lady office at the moment, either at federal or state level.
Yeah, there is no office, but there are activities of the president's wife, the head of state's wife, and so on. Whatever we call it, is there. There is no official office, quite okay. But as long as we participate in all the world women activities, and in every country there is a leader, that's the president's wife.
and
or
she
the,
still represents
yes,
Nigerian
she
First
represent-
Lady
of
in
course.
anywhere in the nation, in the world.
No, I think what she's asking is it in our constitution? Why is it not enshrined?
I know it's not.
No, what we are trying to say
What
now,
I'm saying
what we
is,
are trying to say,
has its removal affected our growth in any way? There's always been, at least from Mariam Babangida's days, there's been office of First Lady right up until 2015.
I think we should not miss it all.
Yeah.
What we should be fighting for, how can this 35% affirmative be in the Constitution? I think that should be our own assignment.
Now, whether we have
why we are
office
talking about
of
the
First
quota.
Lady or not,
Yes.
we
Yes.
cannot
Getting
divorce the
the,
fact that
Senate
the president
to
has
approve
a
it.
wife.
Yes.
And he has a wife, and the wife has, feelings and love for all Nigerian women
She does.
and children.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I know.
And so she cannot keep quiet because she does not have office. She,
Yeah,
in
that's
every situation
The
in
mother
life,
of the nation.
yes, in
So she
every
should carry us
situation
along.
in life, God always have something to say, and the saying of God as far as women issues are concerned is the position of the president's wife.
Okay.
She's been putting people
She has
together.